Okay, let's just get right to it. Will AI replace programmers? I mean, you've seen this question everywhere, right? On social media and tech blogs. It's the big, scary question that's probably keeping a few of you up at night. Is it really possible for a machine to take over one of the most creative jobs out there? Yeah, let's not beat around the bush. When we ask, will AI replace programmers, what we're really asking is, will AI take my job? So today, we're going to cut through all the noise, separate the hype from what's actually happening, and get a real sense of what the future holds for those of us who write code. But to really get a grip on where we're headed, we've got to look back first. Because this feeling, this whole automation anxiety, it's not new, not by a long shot. In fact, this is a story humans have been telling themselves for centuries. Just look at the pattern. Back in the 19th century, weavers were terrified of the mechanical loom. Then, in the 20th century, you had factory workers and accountants looking at the first computers thinking, uh-oh. And now, here we are in the 21st century, and it's our turn. It's programmers staring down the barrel of AI. See? Every single generation has its own version of this technological anxiety. But here's the kicker, and this is the most important lesson from all that history. These big, disruptive waves of automation, they don't actually just destroy jobs, they transform them. The nature of the work itself changes, sure, but new kinds of jobs pop up, jobs we couldn't have even imagined before. All right, so let's jump back to today. What can this new AI coworker, the one causing all this panic, actually do right now? And believe me, its resume is already pretty impressive, and it's getting longer every single day. I'm talking about tools you probably use every day. GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, Amazon Code Whisperer. These aren't science fiction anymore. They are right there in our IDEs. And we're way past simple autocomplete, right? These things can spit out entire functions, write your unit tests for you, and even sketch out high-level architecture. It's wild. And the results? I mean, they're kind of mind-blowing. We're hearing from some engineers that they're coding 30, even 50% faster. Now think about that. That's not just a tiny little boost. That is a full-blown productivity revolution happening as we speak. But, and this is a huge but, we have to understand what AI is really doing under the hood. It's a master of pattern completion. It is not a master of genuine problem solving. Think of it like a musician who can play any song perfectly after hearing it once, but has no idea how to compose a new one. It's brilliant at mimicking patterns, but it can't truly invent something from a blank page. And that distinction right there, that's everything. That is where AI hits a wall, and it's where we, the humans, still have the ultimate advantage. There are fundamental parts of building software that AI just can't touch. First and foremost, context. An AI has no idea why it's writing that code. It doesn't get the business logic, it doesn't understand the user's frustration you're trying to solve, and it certainly doesn't know the 5-year plan for the product. To the AI, it's all just patterns. It's missing the bigger picture entirely. And then there's ethics. You can't ask an AI to navigate a tricky moral gray area. Like deciding between a feature that makes more money and one that protects user privacy. That's not a coding problem. That is a human problem. It takes judgment. And finally, communication. I mean, honestly, how much of your day is actually writing code versus, say, debating with a product manager, explaining a technical limitation to a client, or just getting the team on the same page? That's the real work sometimes, and it is all profoundly human. Which brings us to the main point, really. Programming was never just about typing code into a text editor. It's about thinking. It's about negotiating. It's about designing elegant systems and communicating really complex ideas to other people. That is the real job. Okay, so where does all this leave us? Well, the picture that's starting to emerge isn't one of us versus the machines. It's about partnership. It's about figuring out how our roles are going to evolve to work with AI. So let's circle back to that original question. Will AI replace programmers? The answer is no. But it will absolutely replace a certain kind of programming. You know exactly what I'm talking about, all that repetitive boilerplate stuff. Setting up a basic CRUD app, writing a simple API layer, that's going to be AI's job, and frankly, it'll do it better and faster. And you can see that shift in value happening right here. The demand for developers who just churn out the same repetitive code, that's going down. But the demand for an AI-augmented engineer, someone who uses AI as a tool to solve bigger, more complex system-level problems, That is going to go through the roof. So you're probably asking, okay, how do I become that engineer? Well, you double down on all the human stuff. You get really, really good at systems thinking. You master communication. You get creative. You think about the ethics. And you learn to use AI not as a crutch, but as a powerful force multiplier that makes you even better at your job. Look, if there's just one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this. AI won't replace programmers, but programmers who use AI will replace programmers who don't. It's that simple. It's not about the tool, it's about the artisan who wields it. So the real future isn't some epic battle of AI versus humans. It's a partnership. It's AI times humans, and together, we're going to build the next generation of systems faster, safer, and way more creatively than we ever could on our own. So yeah, the keyboard is still yours. For now. The real question you should be asking yourself is, with this new superpower, what are you going to build with it?